And in Michigan, we were supposed to have our first week of outdoor soccer practice this week, but yesterday was a feels like of 10 degrees at practice time. And then today has a high of like natural temperature of like 34 and a feels like of around 20. So it is unseasonably cold. Now, that's Michigan. You never know around this time of year, but I've seen all sorts of stuff. Somebody that just sent me a picture of the Ohio River being completely flooded and all this flooding in kind of the Midwest area. So drop a comment if you guys could. What is the weather like in your area today? And if you want to share anything about your area, could make for some interesting discussions out there. And while you guys do that, also check that thumbs up. And if you want to share this stream out with some friends, we're going to have some good vibes and good conversation today. My name is Dan C. Bearded. I am the co-host of the Doctor's Orders live stream, 136 episodes in a row, and we're just getting started. And this is the Doctor's Orders, where we pull back the curtain of transparency so you guys can get to know Nick, get to know Jill in the chat, you get to know this company, you can ask questions, and above all, hopefully just a nice little positive break in the middle of your day, whether it's lunch break or a replay or you're not working and you just get to enjoy it anyway. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The man over here, he's been going from a wood shop to then dealing with international shipping codes and what's hazardous, what's not. Hey, how about we dive into Shopify, a well-rounded human, to put it lightly. Nick, on this wild Tuesday, how are you doing today?
You know, well-rounded, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything well about my mindset being as rounded as I am across the topics that I am. I feel a little crazy sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You guys help and have constantly reassured me that my level of enthusiasm is just that and not any sort of a mental disorder or psychosis. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You're not alone.
You know, doing good. My head's full of numbers in so many different ways right now. It's ridiculous. Like we're going through doing business negotiations on one side. That's full of numbers. We got HS codes with updated customs and declarations requirements with all of the changing global economy that we're now all getting used to. And then of course on the development side, we'll talk about this. It's been funny on the coding side of the house of my life. We'll dive into it, but I haven't actually been interacting with any humans much in the past 48 hours. This is kind of the first, aside from just whoever's in my house. So Jack and Jill, unfortunately, have been dealing with a version of me that's been coming down from upstairs, completely unaware of social interaction. I've just been basically using an AI code assistant for days now, and I've been talking to AI. That's all.
Wow.
I've been doing for the past 2 days. So, head is spinning, but there's been some cool things over the past week to talk about that aren't related to my head being full of numbers, which is cool.
Nice.
We got a bunch of good stuff today, though, man. This is definitely the break I was looking for today, though. I was like checking the clock, like, is it stream time yet? Because I'm bored with coding things.
Well, we'll cover you on the social interactions. We got about 30 beautiful humans in here already, and so we'll get all that going. And don't forget about the good things, but let's touch in on some weather. So Christopher says it's beautiful in Oklahoma, 65 and sunny. That is ideal for me. So Christopher, and anybody that has experience in that area, Sam and I, we're not planning on going anywhere. We're not planning on making any moves, but we like to discuss, like, hey, if we were to move, where would be a nice fit? And one of the areas we came upon was Tennessee. It is unbelievable for business taxes, no state tax for your income. The weather is pretty mild. It doesn't get as cold as we get in Michigan. They don't get really much snow. And then I'm talking eastern Tennessee. And then on the hot side, it gets really nice in the summer, but not obnoxiously humid or crazy weather. But one aspect that was different for us there as compared to Michigan in a way, especially the other side of Tennessee, is the threat of tornadoes. And I immediately thought of like Oklahoma, right? Christopher, is that something that is on your guys' mind? Is that a factor? And then Nick, specifically, with all your like places you've lived, I'm sure you've lived in Tornado Alley at some point. How much is that on mind in day-to-day life? Because we just on the drive home from Florida, we literally thought about this. How prevalent is that, or is that just an outsider being too focused on it?
I think people that grow up in Tornado Alley look at it like car accidents, right? Like I've heard people equate them to very much the same, right? They're like, your chances of your house and your plot during any given season getting hit are about the same as a car accident, or, God, sometimes people have even equated them to, plane crashes, lightning strikes, right?
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where the people that grow up there, it's just like this it's like a looming possibility, but so is getting T-boned in your car every time you go to 7-Eleven.
True.
So it's, I think that's how they look at it. As a transplant to those areas, I constantly thought about it. Every time it was like someone 3 counties over getting hit by a tornado at first, I was like, oh God, it's going to be the big one. Here we go. But it was, I've been in a couple of them, and every time it's been, I've had places to hunker down. The structures I was in did not get ripped apart. They were not massively large tornadoes. So, I might change my tune. You put me through an F5, something like that. Like I might, you go through one of those, I might systematically avoid places that had that potential for that happening again.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's I was always a little freaked out about it whenever it was that time of year when I lived in those areas. I was little too, so I definitely thought about it.
And we've had 2 tornadoes, and this is quite literally. Nick was talking with me during one of them, and good friends at that time. We've had 2 tornadoes jump our house. So I guess we're like our neighbors, like just less than 100 yards gone, roof gone. And I've heard the train sound twice now, and we have it on our Ring camera and stuff. And so then we got to thinking about down there, and we looked up like most tornadoes per state and all that kind of stuff. And so Christopher says it's not likely. I don't typically worry. He's a true Okie. When the sirens go off, he goes outside to watch. Okay. Yeah, like you said, you kind of grow up there. You just become kind of numb to it and realize the odds of it actually affecting you. But it's like the risk, if it does, is so prevalent, but then we don't associate that relative risk to so many other things in our life. Like you said, like driving, so interesting.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But dude, on that note on Tennessee though, I love it down there. My mom.
Your mom's there.
Yeah. My mom's in Knoxville. And I have a bunch of customers down there too in the Nashville area. Tons of people.
Flags hanging out. And nice. So Sam and I are actually doing our first like solo trip without the kids in like 2 or 3 years. And we're just doing a weekend, and we're going to Tennessee. We're driving down. We did one of the Airbnb like tree houses. So we're going to be in the woods, in the trees. We're going to go, and this is in the like Gatlinburg
area. I was going to say, that's got to be Gatlinburg, yeah.
Yep. And so we're going to hit the national park and go hiking. We have another hiking spot that we're going to do. And so we have some really, really cool plans. Again, just a short weekend. My parents are going to watch the kids. And I'm very, very, very excited because I love Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. Like, I love that area. Yeah. I have been over, C says, East Tennessee will be better than Middle, Nashville and surrounding. Yeah, so I have been to the Nashville area. Strongly dislike Nashville, but strongly like some of the surrounding burbs like Franklin. Super freaking cool. Really, really, really cool town. But on the other side, we like Chattanooga. We like Knoxville. We like Gatlinburg. There's some really cool spots. Everybody's pretty chill in Tennessee. Everyone's pretty nice. The police are like the most fair that I've seen on the drive from Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida, or Georgia and Florida. And so there were like a lot of like perks, and I was like, I could kind of see this, there's
dude,
nice and
right there with you, dude. Like my Zillow is full of tagged places all around that Knoxville, Gatlinburg, that whole area. I found a nice compound on Opportunity down there, by the way. A little out of reach, but it was very nice. Give us a year or two.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, like
depending on how numbers really go.
And Jill's only gripe about down there is that when we've gone, she's like, it gets too hot in the summer. But there's a note on that is my mom's birthday is in July, right? So we go down for my mom's birthday, either before her birthday or right afterwards in like July or August. So Jill's only impression of Tennessee, Knoxville summer is literally like the dead thick of end of July, August.
Okay.
And that's the worst of it. So, I mean, that's really as bad as it gets, I think, down there.
I could do that.
Dude, you know what? I was in Tampa for so long where it was like you didn't go outside with,
right.
You lizard walked quickly from one place to another 4 months out of the year. It's like,
right.
I've done that, and I don't think that's that. I don't think it stays consistently that bad when it gets bad.
Right.
But
it's
I love it down there.
The reverse of the northern winter, right, is the southern summer.
You don't have to shovel the humidity, though.
That's true. That is true. And you get color, which is really nice to see. So,
I won't have to be blue anymore. You mean it's like I'm literally coming out of winter looking like I'm crawling out of like a latex sleeve from this gross. Like I'm a
fun fact. After winter, you can see every one of Nick's veins and arteries and It's pretty sensational. He just becomes translucent.
Yeah, I'm basically like Inside Out boy. Like from Nickelodeon. Like I went over the swing set in the middle of the winter.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Too funny.
Yeah, like where's that on like on like the little checkbox list when you're filling out a medical form or something? It's like translucent, blue.
Right. Is there anything we should be aware of? Well, yeah, I am translucent.
Yeah, I am. I do have the skin of a gecko at the moment.
What? Central Florida right now is 66, nice and cloudy. What?
It's weather is just,
what?
You know what? You know when I said that, like, the coloring book of success has no lines anymore? Like, I think the weather was listening because it was like, you know what? There is no rules anymore. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm just going to grow up and be who I want to be tomorrow.
We were just there and it was 90 every day. And I mean that, like actually 90. Now, they did say it was about 10 degrees warmer than average because of some pressure front and this and that. But it was 90. And 90 in Florida with direct sun is hot. I don't care what anyone says.
There's a correction to that.
Yeah.
90 in Orlando specifically is hot. Like you're in the middle of the state.
Yep.
You're surrounded by wetlands and trees. The breeze gets absorbed everywhere that's not there.
Yep.
So it is like 90 and still it's like it just sits on you.
Yep. And that sun it hits different than Michigan. It really does. It's pretty crazy. Timothy's in Virginia Beach. He said low 40s. And so I went on one spring break with my parents like my whole life, and we went to Virginia Beach, and it was freezing cold for Virginia Beach. Like you couldn't even walk out on the boardwalk. And so that makes sense. I can see that.
It can get cold.
Yeah, it seems like one of those like coin flip type moments.
Yeah, and then they're saying there too. It's like it's like C-Boy is saying there. It's like you get pretty humid.
Yep.
But it's swimming through soup, kind of. Yeah, it is. But you guys got lots of rivers and cool like woods. Yeah. You have like rivers through and stuff to be able to go swimming, and the water's swimmable because it's not freezing coming out of Canada.
And it's fresh, and there's no gators. Yeah.
There's
some advantages there.
And like you said, the people are really nice. Like for some reason, I don't know what it is. My demeanor seems to work. It meshes very well with Tennessee. Like I find myself getting along with groups of people out in public there really quickly.
Yeah.
Easily.
They still, and this is actually kind of one of the wheel topics today, but in Tennessee, you still get like the Southern charm, the Southern vibes and hospitality, at least in our experience.
Mm-hmm. I think you do. I think you definitely, but what's nice about it is it's also not the same as like feeling like you're in like the deep South where everyone's going to think you're a Yankee because you didn't grow up south of the Mason-Dixon. So
you get treated different when you have this accent when you're down in like Southern Georgia or Bama, stuff like that. There's some instant judgment that happens.
They don't take too kindly to folks like us down in them parts sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It is true. It is true.
Like, we talk like city slickers and we're like doing things. We like want things done quickly. So we seem demanding.
Right.
And we are, impatient.
Especially you and I. We are efficient humans.
You could take our motivation and misconstrue it as impatience very easily, I think. And people do, not speaking for just myself here. I don't think that sometimes I come off a little intense,
Well, and I was just going to say too, people misconstrue our passion as intensity or like almost anger or upset. Like I've had a bunch of times where I'm like, no, God, like I'm not upset. I'm just I'm just like, this is how I get talking about stuff. I don't know. I can't control it. I'm not mad. I just get fired up, and in the deep South, it does seem that, it's interesting because it's the deep South, but it's also the northern, like northern Michigan, the Upper Peninsula. You get to the upper side of Wisconsin and Minnesota. They also super slow down life a lot.
Yeah. Maine.
And it's like everything kind of in the middle is a little bit faster. And then to the south and the north, they just kind of, they drive slower. They eat slower, they shop slower, they walk slower, and I almost envy it a little bit because it's just like there's just no worries, they're just at their own pace, and you and I are like, gotta get stuff done, move on to the next one. Whoop, what are we doing? And the kids pick up, so it dropped the kids off for school today. I had my laptop on my lap as I'm in the car, in the van, a minivan, because we have like a half an hour there, and I'm I'm doing work stuff while I'm like, I looked at myself in the rear view. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I was like, well, there's 30 minutes here. I'm not going to waste that.
What the hell else are you going to do with it? Like,
right.
Sometimes, like, I remember, what was I doing? Jill was picking Jack up from somewhere, and she got there and she knew she was going to be like ridiculously, that's right. She had the time wrong. We were an hour early, and she gets there an hour early, and she's like, crap, there's only like one person here. It must be everyone's late. And then she's like, oh, wait, there's one person here because I'm an hour early on accident. And this guy is just an hour early and he's just sitting there. So Jill leaves, goes and runs errands and comes back and gets Jack like you do. That guy was still just there. He was just he's like, well, don't have anything else I need to do for an hour. So I'm just going to wait here.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, man,
my
first thought was like criticism, like being critical. And then like my second thought is, man, I hope I get to a place in life someday where I can show up somewhere and realize I'm an hour early and not go do something else in that hour. Like literally just be okay going,
I don't know if you can, Nick. I don't know if that day will come.
Who knows? It's just like the terminal length of a beard, right? I'm not trimming it because I want to see how long it gets. And I'm going to keep blindly charging towards the I will have patience someday.
Okay.
Just, with blind faith that I will.
All right. Well, I'll be here along the ride. If you get to the destination, we'll celebrate.
Don't worry, I won't.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting there, so
no.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Hey, guys, we got 40 people in here. Trust us, we do not ever take that for granted. Please get involved in the chat. Did you check to see if you hit the thumbs up? Do you want to bring some more friends in? It's appreciated. Nick, you mentioned some other good stuff in the last week or so to kind of talk about. Do you remember anything that's been going on or any fun topics for our friends?
Oh man, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Like you guys have been seeing some of it come through. We've been posting on Instagram some of like the shots of what we did over the weekend at the Wonder Museum in Boston. That was super cool. So it's like the Wonder Museum, I think there's a few of them across the country. When I looked at their site, I saw like Chicago, I saw New York, Boston. Okay. And it's an interactive art installation museum. And it's, between like interactive light, they had like this room that was literally just plastered in stickers. And the reason it's plastered in stickers is you went to this other little area and they took a picture of your eyeball and they put your eyeball as part of like this big eyeball mosaic on the wall. And when you were done, they gave you a sticker. Go in that room and find a place to put it.
Now, does that mess with like your perception and depth or not really?
Kind of. It's sort of weird in there. It's like when you sit in the room, it's like Alice in Wonderland almost. You feel everything feels like it's tight and small.
Yeah.
Really strange. But there was like light hallways, like where when you step down, big like fireworks stuff. Okay, yeah. So that's where you got the sticker. So you went up and there's Jill's close up of her like inside of her blueberry eyeballs and
cataracts. Jill, get that looked at. No, just kidding.
And so it was just super cool. You went up there and did that, and then it was neat because they kind of fade yours off and put it on the inside as other people start coming in. So it's like you kind of
that's cool.
You can then see yours as it's like going in. It's Yeah, so there's this floor thing where when you stepped on it, it like made these firework kind of lights go off around your feet. And Jill was like, I'm doing light firework angels.
Yeah, have to.
She's like, I wonder if it works. So
that's cool. Is that your eyeball?
It is.
What a beaut.
Dude, yeah, it's funny. When the guy did it, he was like looking at it. He's like, wow, you have lots of I don't want to say yellow, but lots of orange, lots of gold, yellows.
Yeah.
He's like in hazel and blue. He's like in some green. You got a lot of different. On my license, it just says hazel because like depending on what I'm wearing, my eyes just change like crazy.
Interesting. Now, are those colors on the other ones? No, those can't be. They're altered, right? Like
oh yeah, like the red one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was cool. It was like a room full of paint samples.
Yeah.
We were all like purple and red and all these different colors. And the lights in the room would change from being normal daylight to being like a neutral tone, kind of like a tungsten. And you literally, no matter what you did, you could not find an ounce of color in any of those samples when you got close to it. Like your eyes know it's there, and you're like, I know I can see purple if I look hard enough, but no, you can't see purple.
Man, just shows you how important lighting is.
It's everything, man. It's so crazy.
That is crazy. Another one of the like motion kind of manipulate the lights.
Yeah, it had this little thing that like tracked your movement, and then like there was one above you and one in front of you, and if you spun, the things spin around, and if you run, they kind of just run into each other as you're moving through the room.
I'm super disappointed Jill didn't bust out some b-boy moves right there. I thought she was about to be spinning on her head.
So to be fair, like I thought for sure there was some breakdancing coming.
Yeah.
When I saw that move right there, I'm like, okay, here comes when I learned that my wife is actually an ass breakdancer, and she just like spins on the floor and then lands like one of
when
she's done.
It
like I was
looked
like,
legit.
Oh.
She could take on the Australian or the lady from the Olympics.
Oh yeah, bring it. Like you know, I'm just thinking. Well, I mean, that's not saying much. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I don't know if you were insulting Australia or Jill on that one, but oh, dude,
Whoa.
this thing.
No,
this thing.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's stay here and talk about them.
Yes,
we're gonna pull Dr. Phil. We're just gonna stay right here for a minute.
I'll be right back.
All right, we'll be right back. So there's this artist. Her name is, hold on, Yayoi Kusuma, and Yayoi Kusuma was putting out art. She became really famous in the 60s, and she was a really good friend of Andy Warhol, and they did all kinds of art installations together. And her signature thing that she created was an infinity mirror room. So she started in the 60s building these enclosed rooms where they were just mirrors opposing each other. So it was lots of affinity effects. And she created this box where it has a little hole in the side and you can look in it. And it's got so many different mirrors that you kind of can't tell like what is actually in the box and what's not. But I noticed if I looked really close that I could see myself looking through the hole, like way down in the hallway of mirrors. So I just took my phone and put it right up under my chin and just like zoomed in. And I'm like, I wonder if it'll actually see what I'm seeing here. And when you zoom into those, you can see the entirety of your whole reflection in all of those little orbs that are hanging there.
So that is what you see. That's pretty accurate.
Oh, dead on to it.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like, it looks like a weird, like you can't tell where it ends and where it starts. And you can't tell what's a wall and what's not, what's hanging there and what isn't. So your eyes fall for it pretty quick. It's really cool.
We've been to a couple places like this. There's one in Orlando that's like the upside down building.
The Ripley's, believe it or not.
So I've done Ripley's before, but there's a different one. Let me see if
the building's
knows.
the building's built upside down.
Yeah.
It's right next to a gigantic Chinese buffet called Mr. Wong, Bill Wong's Chinese buffet. It's right next to it.
Yeah, Wonderworks.
On International Drive, right?
Yes, on International Drive, exactly.
Yeah, I know right where you're talking about.
Yep, Wonderworks.
Yeah,
it's same kind of concept. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Oh God, that's like one of the few things that I can like find really good familiarity with on iDrive in Orlando and not get sideways looks on it.
Super cool.
It was so cool. Yeah, it really. But what's neat, the room, the exhibit didn't limit your time in there. The artist there, when you go up to it, they say like pick your group. They give you little booties to put on your shoes, and they tell you that the artist has set a time limit for viewing the exhibit of 60 seconds. And they put you in the room, they close the door, they announce 10 seconds to go, and they tell you to get out.
Wow.
And so there's no lingering. So like she doesn't want you looking too closely at how any of the illusions happen.
Yep.
So you walk around, you get confused, you're disoriented, and then boom, gone. Like you don't get to study any of it.
I was going to say, if you stay there longer, you start to realize and figure it out. And I actually like that. Keep the magic alive.
Me too. I actually really liked it. When he said it, like there's a part of me that's like, tell me what. Oh, that's actually kind of a cool idea. Okay.
That is cool. And speaking of cool ideas, you guys dropped a little tease yesterday on the Instagram. And this was the letter J. And just like kind of a could be coming soon type thing. It seemed like a pretty full little container right there. And in case anybody is curious, the description on this, as we went back and looked at the previous rounds, crowd favorite, it is a floral botanical and a minty bundle of awesome.
It was definitely a crowd favorite. And I can safely say a couple of things.
Okay.
One, that is not leftover J oil. There's a fresh batch of that oil downstairs. And if you ever got to enjoy any of it, let's just say that's not the label that would be on it either. So even cooler to say is that we might be able to be talking about how you can get your hands on some of that J again this time next week.
Ooh.
No, as usual, no promises. We have multiple moving pieces of the puzzle, as always. But I am very much hoping that next week we can be talking about a little bit more about what is in J, about the spring botanical citrus scents that could be landing in a beard near you.
I was just gonna say, a floral botanical with mint and citrus. I don't know what screams spring more than that.
I don't either. And it's listen, if the weather's not going to give us spring, the climate on your face might as well, right? So I think that's
JB says, land in this beard, please.
Get like the airplane markers, like right here. Right
yeah.
There.
That's so good. That's so good. Okay. So very, very exciting there. That one is going to be, I know that's going to be wildly popular.
Well, I mean, look at this. It's the way we do it. There's no chance of it not, right? Because this is one of those ones where you guys created this, right? We threw 20 something pieces of spaghetti against the wall, and you guys grabbed a handful of them that were your favorite. And we are slowly going back to those. And as weather and seasons are appropriate, releasing them. So
yep. And Sage was one of those. You guys kind of demanded that one. I know Jacob from Jacked Up, it's still his favorite beard oil scent and still invokes memories of the desert for him. Another one that is been new. So prior to what could be with Jay, stay tuned for a name and opportunity. The most recent release would be on beard wash and beard conditioner, the lemongrass ginger. And Nick, I want you to speak on this one real quick because I actually have some on the way. So I haven't had a chance to get my hands on this. But from my understanding, you're a big fan of this, especially in shower products.
Huge fan. So
how come? Hit us with it. What's the experience like?
So it's kind of a weird one for me. This is one of those ones where we're not actually, I don't think we're talking about a scent profile so much that I like with the lemongrass ginger.
Okay.
I think what I've been experiencing over the past couple of weeks, that's all I've been using in the shower. I think the essential oil aromatherapy effects are what I've really been getting me, because it itches a part of your brain that a scent just doesn't normally itch. There's when you get this in the shower and you have the steam, I swear there's like this relaxing wave that goes over you. That's almost like something that strips out stress. Like it's like, when they say if everyone's sick in the house, like you boil like lemon essential oils in like a pot of water or something, and it's good to disinfect the air and just kind of bring up spirits when things are cloudy and dark and crappy feeling.
Yeah.
There's some kind of effect with the lemongrass, the ginger. I mean, look, the juice I drink all the time from down the street is carrot juice, lemongrass, not lemongrass, but ginger, turmeric, right? And it's, that I like that for its anti-inflammatory effects. I like the way it tastes too. But in the shower with this, I really do think it gives you that aromatherapy benefit of the lemongrass, and the ginger giving you clarity. Like, I feel more like mentally awake and sharp when I get out of the shower after lemongrass ginger than I do when I get in. And it wakes me up more than my coffee does before I get in the shower. There's something about it. And I do. So I enjoy like the scent side of peppermint rosemary, I think, better than the scent maybe of lemongrass ginger.
Okay.
But the overall experience that I get and the lingering effect and benefits I think that I get from lemongrass ginger, I think outweigh any even if I didn't like the smell, I would use it for its mental side effects and its benefits.
Interesting. And
so it is really interesting because I mean, all of our stuff, like I say, all of the profiles we use, like you look out there in the aromatherapy world, and there are blends of essential oils that enact certain emotional and mental responses, and people burn them in, the atomizers, the vaporizers all day in their house, and we do too. And it's just it's the best diffuser you can ever get. It's right on your face.
Yeah, and aromatherapy is a real thing with essential oils. Now, I've covered this many times. There's nothing inherently bad about fragrance oils unless you're adverse to them, like Nick is, but they do not add aromatherapy benefits. They can smell good, and maybe it brings up your mood because you like smelling good, but there's things within these essential oils, I just did a video on this, that actually activate some benefits. And right there, lemongrass, most of us know the insect repellent properties of lemongrass, but stress relief, improved mood are the first two things listed. And that really just goes with everything you just said.
Yeah. I'm not even kidding. It's one of those things where it is absolutely undeniable. Like if you've never experienced something like that before, I encourage you to try it, because there is like this really cool, side of that. And which made me, think back to, we really need to get back on these reed diffusers that have our different scent profiles, essential oils in them.
Please.
And we have landed on a couple of really good ways to do it. The challenge is to do it right, to do it where you actually have like a diffuser that has liquid in it that it's going to have not just a scent, but an aromatherapy impact. Because a lot of those ones that you see at Marshall's, right? Like they're $15, right? You get a big ass bottle of liquid and some sticks that go in it, and it's $15 and away you go. Those have fragrance oils in them. They're just reed diffusers for fragrance, right?
Yeah.
And so when you get into the ones I think it's by Nest, I forget. Jill will say there's a couple of brands that we really like of those reed diffusers, and though they're $70, right? There's a reason for that. It's a little bottle with some sticks in it, and they're $70, right? They do last 4 to 6 months. They smell really good. But to do it right, I think ours are going to be, unfortunately, at a higher price point is what we've kind of landed on, because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it where it imparts the aromatherapy benefits of our scent profiles. It's kind of the whole point. So it made my shower experience with this stuff, though, has really made me go back to that idea. Like, I need this stuff in my house. I need it in my office. Like, I need it everywhere.
Ever since we discussed that probably a year ago, I've been so like amped to just absolutely love that idea of being able to do it and possibly repurposing. And there's so many aspects, so it could be cool.
So many really cool ideas there. There's a lot of possibilities. And Bonego, I'm glad you tried it, man. It's one of those things where it's a profile that if you read it and you're not like in one of those kind of creative, let's try something new kind of moods, you might be like,
Right.
I can promise you it is not that far out. As far as a scent goes, it's nothing that's off-putting. You're gonna smell it and love it. It's gonna make you think of Thai food. Like that's what
Leo said there. Yep.
Oh yeah. So Leo, I literally came up with this scent profile while eating Thai food. I looked over at Jill and I'm like, we have got to do something with lemongrass and ginger. It's just like with a mouthful of whatever I was eating, of course, from the Thai restaurant. And she's like, okay, sweetie, okay.
And Banana Goat has some good feedback, even more to this. And you were explaining how in the shower, it's the aromatherapy benefits and it lowers your stress. And this was before you said that. He said the scent is so good. And then as you were speaking, he said, he's right, you know. And then he followed up and said, I don't think I've smelt something that literally felt thick in a good way.
Yes.
Might be my favorite scent right now.
Dude, so I didn't want to use that word, and I'm so glad you did, because that's exactly what I was going to say. It's
interesting.
It's a palpable presence. Like it when it's in the I don't know how to explain it. It felt thick. Like it does. When you smell it, it smells heavy, it smells thick. It's like it's a weird sensation.
Okay. And our guy Ty has it in beard today.
Hell yeah.
Look at that coincidence. I love that. And your mom, write this down, Nick. She would like a diffuser with lemongrass ginger for her birthday.
Oh, mom gets what she wants.
That's right.
All right, mom. All right.
My birthday is on Mother's Day this year. So I get to share with Sam and my mom. AKA they win.
Yeah, they definitely win, but that also means now that you get really good brunch on your birthday.
Right. All right, I will write that one down. Nick said it, so it needs to be true. Brunch. And Banana Goat says, it's weird to say, but it's true. Good work, Nick and Jill.
Dude, I'm so happy you're right there with us like that, man. Like I really sounds like you need it surrounds you like a hug. I can read
that sense.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what it is. When it gets in the shower like you do, it's like you can tell it's there. Like I'm telling you, there's something to it.
Interesting.
I want to figure out more scents that do that. You know, it's like I feel like LCP, like the lime zest citrus fruit pine, number 7.
Yep.
I feel like it wakes my brain up. That's why I've always liked it. I feel like IPA does the same thing for me. Like when I use that in the morning.
IPA especially, even more so for me.
Which one? The IPA?
IPA, yeah.
Me too. I feel like the hops is like a catalyst for whatever that citrus is doing.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, let's do this. We got this. It's like nature. You know, there's something about it where you tap in and you're like, I do feel more grounded. I know that sounds hippie. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It does. It does kind of like it like just gives it like an extra bit of oomph to get into your brain, I think. And the same can be said for like in the winter, you know, with like peppermint bark. You know, I feel like that is relaxing and calming and soothing, and it's like a little bit uplifting when it's cloudy and dark outside. So I think we're keying into some really cool aromatherapy benefit sides of our profiles as people give us feedback and we start experiencing them in different products.
For sure. And that's kind of the, no pun intended, the essence of Dr. Nick's, and it's tapping into that, the witch doctor, the doctor from nature, the like tapping into stuff that actually can make a difference, more so than just how your beard feels and looks.
Oh, you're dead on. And I like what Leo is saying there. Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Palpable.
Yep. And it's surrounded by a forest, but palpable forest is a much better. Yeah. So I can totally see that.
Yep. I like that. All right. Yep. All the good news checked. All the topics hit.
Oh, hold on. Shane's beard, lemongrass in clam chowder. So, first of all, blasphemy. Second of all, I would love to try it. So, like, it's like one of those. But here's my problem: I would never be able to try that where I live because your restaurant would be boarded up and shut down if you put lemongrass and clam chowder in New England. It'd be a real big problem. You'd be in the news. It'd be a big to do. And you'd probably need to move. Yeah. But all of that said, I can see exactly why that would be amazing, and I would love to try it in secret and not tell anybody.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, and Rob said there would be a riot.
Dude, you're not even like he's so dead on. They would literally be like the villagers would be rioting with pitchforks and torches. It would be bad.
I love that. All right, guys, we got a solid 20 minutes for the wheel of tangents to talk about. And this is not just for Nick and I. This is for the chat to get involved as well. There's going to be a topic, a question, and we would love to hear. Jill said I almost logged off when I read it.
I was going to say, Jill, I was going to almost tell you to black out that comment and pull it off the comments on the feed because it might get us demonetized. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a real problem here.
Shane, that's wild. That's regional war.
I go back to it where like, yeah, I'll try it. Just
Right.
saying.
He's not against it, but
I'm
he
for
said,
against
LOL.
it. I'm for against it. And
Yes, right.
that's the best way to put it.
I like it.
Like
I
my
like
first
it.
response is no, but it has kind of a yesy aftertaste the more I think about
Yeah.
it.
No, that's blasphemy. Hey,
Maybe.
I would love to try it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we have to discuss here first, my friends. And we have family in the chat, of course. Okay. So a quicker one here, but someone had submitted this one. And they said they wanted to discuss the worst and best airports. And we actually discussed last week traveling in an airport and the ones that were more challenging for time because of like the trains and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we talked about bad ones.
Yeah.
And busy ones.
Which airport, when you have like a business meeting and stuff, which one do you get excited about? And it could be because of a lounge, the security line. It could be, by the way, I've never been in a lounge. It's a life dream of mine. But which one gets you excited to see on the agenda?
Well, first of all, you know how they say never meet your idols?
Yeah.
You should just go ahead and scratch that lounge bucket list item right off your list, because when it happens, you're going to be so pissed off that you went through whatever hoops you went through to get into it.
Really?
Because they are all garbage.
Dude.
Like I have Centurion lounge access from
American Express.
American Express.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've watched every YouTube video on the internet about them.
I've been in 10 of them, and every single one of them, I'm like, this is it. Like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to use the bathroom because it's nice, and I'm going to go back out into the terminal to find some food.
What?
You know, back when I used to drink, it was fantastic because they'd load you up with free drinks, send you on your way. It'd be really nice.
Yeah, I don't drink, so that doesn't help me.
Some of them have. Now, here's what does make them worth it, and this is why they still exist, and this is the only reason they still exist. If you want a quiet place to work that isn't disgusting and have a nice desk, have a cup of coffee that's in a ceramic mug, sitting there with a real food of some sort, and you want to sit there for a couple hours and get some work done, not in a terminal fighting with people, knocking over your bags and
right,
your plugs and everything else, that it does feel like an office away from home. They have exceptional workspaces. And if you get stuck in an airport overnight, they have amazing showers. Like, talk about the nicest 5-star hotel you ever stayed at. That's the bathrooms you get inside Centurion lounges.
Okay.
So all I was just trying to buffer, man. It's like, I was like, yeah, lounge access. Then I'm like, I've stopped using it because it's just never worth either the wait to get in, the line, whatever.
Okay.
But
best ones, like what
airports?
Because I'll give you an example. I haven't been to a lot of airports. I've been to probably 5 or 6. So my sample size is pretty small. But the one that surprised me the most in a positive way was Salt Lake City.
Ooh, that's a great airport.
Just a beautiful, like almost work of art. Everywhere you go, there's just like art installations and sculptures and like beautiful views down the escalator. And it was not busy whatsoever. I've been there 2 times, I believe. And it was a beautiful, clean, and peaceful airport. Salt Lake City really impressed me.
You know, that's funny you say. I had to look it up because that is the one that I was thinking of. Salt Lake City is really nice. And you know what I will say? So like domestically, I'll get into it. As far as internationally, the best airport I've been to ever, hands down, like no contest, different level of experience, would have to be Amsterdam's International Airport.
Interesting.
I mean, dude, like rooftop restaurants and bars with wood-fired pizza ovens and like a band playing outside. You can just go outside, wander outside, grab like a nice sandwich or a piece of pizza or something, go hang out outside, listen to some music, hang out, get some fresh air. Like it literally is like hanging out at like a music festival more than an airport. It's
wow.
It's ridiculous. Domestically though, one of the ones you said, one that surprised you, one that surprised the hell out of me and has every time I've been there ever since was the MSP, Minneapolis St. Paul.
Ooh, I've never been there.
I went there because it's one of Delta's hubs. So like Delta's main corporate headquarters are in Minneapolis, and their hub for airports is down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so it's like they've fortified the hell out of that airport, being as like a large presence that they are. Really, really, really nice.
Okay.
What other ones? Like, you know which one always surprises me as being really nice is South Carolina. This is
Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to that one. It's I got some Mexican food there on a big layover, and it was some of the best Mexican food I've ever had.
Right next to a big, huge open food court, and there's an escalator that goes right down next to the side of it, and it's on the corner.
Literally, and you go in, and it's like the bars in front of you to the left over there.
Tables in the middle, restaurant. Yeah, I every single time I'm there, I go get tacos there.
So good. Holy crap, good.
It is damn good Mexican food for an airport.
And it's right next to the big opening where like the candy stands are and all this stuff. Yeah. Yep, right where you said. And in that airport, what stood out to me about Charlotte is they have rocking chairs, wood rocking chairs all over the airport just to lounge in a rocking chair.
Everywhere.
Yep.
It's amazing. Like I remember one time too when I was walking through there, and I was stuck there for a while, and I was pissed. And I was walking around, and I was finding places to sit, and I'm like, I've got time to sit in a rocking chair. Who's got time to sit in a? Well, actually, I'm stuck here for 4 hours. I guess I could sit in a rocking chair. So I went and sat down in it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. Nerves instantly like dropped a little bit.
Yeah, Rob went there too to the Mexican joint.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's really funny that all of us have found the same Mexican restaurant in Charlotte's airport.
Right. Your mom wants to know about Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs is a really cool airport. What's that one called? I forget. The Palm Springs Airport is really cool because it's like all desert themed. It's like, they have like cactuses and all kinds of cool stuff all over the place.
Okay.
Which one's the one that I went to that had the giant? Oh crap. I was at an airport. This might have been a new installation in Philly, in one of the newer terminals in Philly. Yeah, I think it was. They have like this gigantic water fountain show that happens in the middle of one of the terminals, and they play music and they like project lights onto it and stuff.
Nice. And your buddy Tim says Chattanooga. So Flint is our small one. The small ones are so nice where you just get in, you get out. Knoxville, same thing. They're just so easy.
Yeah, Knoxville's great. That's an awesome. I remember I was going there one morning, and we stopped on the way to the airport, and I grabbed Bojangles because it was going to be my last time to grab Bojangles before we got back up north. And so I got a chicken biscuit, like you do, Cajun chicken biscuit. And I had 2 of them, and I didn't want to eat them like in the car because it was like a 4-minute ride from Bojangles to the airport. So I'm like, I'm just going to throw them in my carry-on real quick and then pop it out in the terminal and eat it once I get in the terminal. Let's find a table at a restaurant in there and grab a coffee or something. And so I get through the gate, and I had to get my bag checked. The guy's like, all right, anything I should know about in here? And I'm like, just a couple of Bojangles chicken biscuits. He's like, whoa, man, you're lucky I ate breakfast already. Or else that becomes contraband real quick.
And Moose wants to know, is that your favorite chicken joint?
Down south, I would, it's a toss-up between No, okay, hold on. They're different categories. I was going to say, well, Chick-fil-A, Bojangles, Zaxby's, those are like 3 different tiers of chicken, I just said. So like Bojangles, I feel like it's good because you're taking your life into your hands a little bit whenever you eat it, like just a little. Like, and then, I feel like Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A are kind of like, okay, well, if I want to eat something to go, I'll do Chick-fil-A. And if I want something to sit down, I'll eat Zaxby's. So it's like down south is chicken heaven for me, though. Between Zaxby's, Bojangles, I just don't know. I have a hard time deciding all the time.
Okay. All right. I can only have the grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A out of those options, and I love them specifically with honey or buffalo sauce.
Have you tried the honey roasted barbecue sauce?
No. Is it
it's
good?
It's not on the menu, but they have them at every Chick-fil-A because
it's a thing, or that you make it?
No, it's in a packet. Okay. And it's you just ask for honey, and you can tell it's special because you're like, can I get some honey roasted barbecue sauces with that too? And they're like, how many?
Ooh.
And you're like, well, I want 4. You're like, okay, you got 2 sandwiches. Yeah, you can have 4.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
They tried to replace it with Chick-fil-A sauce, and don't fall for it. Like it's not the same thing. I don't know what kind of wool they think they're pulling over our eyes here with this rope and dope switcheroo they're trying to do with these 2 sauces, but I'm not okay with it. You got to try it though. It's great on those grilled nuggets.
Yeah, the grilled nuggets, just the flavor they have is delicious.
That's the way to go.
And you're eating real food. So,
dude, and for their breakfast, like their egg and grilled chicken, like biscuits. And the biscuit part would lose you, but oh man, they're damn good.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks. I'm not very sensitive about my gluten limitations, except for breakfast and especially biscuits, but Whole Foods does have a frozen gluten-free biscuit that is out of this world.
Well, so dude, and I've been using this certain rice flour that's like a damn near 1-to-1 replacement for like standard flour.
Yeah.
And there's a lady online who it shows her with the butter cutter sitting there cutting cold butter into this rice-based flour for biscuits, and she said
Yeah.
like they're like dead on.
Nice.
I haven't tried them yet. I haven't tried making them.
Yes. All right. Let's see what we got. That was good. That was better than I thought it could have been. So awesome discussion, you guys, and add-ons.
And David Hill, who knows?
What, dude? You just answered this. You just answered this.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's Mexican.
Okay, ours too. Ours is Mexican.
It's not. Yeah, it's like that's my dirt dog on the road. Like I need something good. No, it's
same.
I'll land at an airport. I take my Maps app. I zoom it out. I type in Mexican restaurant. I look for pins. I filter by nothing lower than 4 stars. I look for something that doesn't have traffic, and I drive there and eat tacos. Like first move out of an airport, typically drop pins, Mexican food, boom, go there, figure everything else out from there.
In the chat, when you need food and you're on the road, what is your first search? For us, it is absolutely Mexican. I do the same thing, but then I always pull, and we don't even get these, but I always pull up their fajitas and I judge a Mexican restaurant based on what they have in their fajitas. And if it looks like it's the frozen bagged meat or if it's fresh. And that's how we decide.
So
Indian, interesting. I would not have guessed that, Rob.
Wow.
Interesting. Not traveling. That sounds dangerous to me.
Because here's my problem with that. Sure, you might experience some really good new Indian foods. But if you're on a car ride and you happen to have an iffy Indian food experience, like, I don't know if you're getting the deposit back on that rental car, buddy. Like, it's, it's, whew.
Thank you, Flag. That was me. Say, great question. So, yeah, and then our secondary one will always, and this is because of the kids and what they eat, and then prioritizing protein would be some kind of mid-range steak restaurant, such as Jax's favorite, which we go to if we can find it anywhere, Outback. Now, I know it's not the greatest culinary place of all time, but for us, it's decently expensive, and it's a treat, and Jax will eat the whole kid's little steak that comes with it. And so on the road especially, that boost of protein and iron and everything is so big for us. So it's either Mexican or something like Outback's. We'll settle for a Logan's or a Texas Roadhouse or something like that. But those are kind of our go-tos as well.
Dude, I think it's absolutely the way to go. And I was joking actually when you guys probably remember when I was doing like that kind of tour to South where I like landed in Charlotte and drove over to see my mom in Tennessee and then went down to Atlanta, then drove back up to Charlotte. I did exactly what I just said. I'm driving down the highway. It's getting close to dinner time. I was starving. So I just picked an exit that looked like it had some stuff. And you know how it is down South. You get off a highway, look, Mexican restaurant. Like,
yep.
And so I got off the highway and I saw one, and it had, the parking lot was overfilled with like landscaping trucks and like white work construction trucks. And I'm like, this has got to be the place. And so I pull in. I was the only one in there that spoke native English, and customers and staff included.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Like
the best sign ever.
I was the happiest guy ever. Cause I was like, yep. And I just started kind of going through what I wanted. And the lady was just kind of like nodding, and she starts giggling. Cause I'm like, oh, and one of those. Oh, and a tostada. And one of those. Oh, and a tamale.
If the menu is faded and a little bit sticky and a little bit kind of broken on the edges and stuff, you are in the right spot.
That's right. If that thing's laminated with pretty pictures of stock photos of margaritas, just get out. Just go.
Yep. And where did I see somebody flag? This is the most accurate Outback statement I've ever heard in my entire life. It's so reliably inconsistent, beyond true. But when it's on, which we just had our last stop on the way back from Florida, it was the greatest Outback we've ever had. It was cooked perfectly. The steak was not fatty. The fries were just right. Their Tasmanian chili's off the hook. Jax ate every fiber of steak on his plate. It hit. We have had some very bad experiences. No flavor, fatty, not good service, not cooked correctly. So that is beyond accurate right there. Beyond accurate.
Dude,
Yeah.
it is. And it is one of those hit or miss places for sure. There was one right next to my house when I lived in Valdosta, Georgia, that I used to go
Oh
to
yeah.
all the time.
We
Yeah.
stop in Valdosta. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been to that one that I've been to
That's
there probably. Like that was like as far as Valdosta went, like if you wanted something that was
yeah.
like, slightly mainstream, that's pretty much all you were getting.
That's next to that like super hillbilly looking water attraction place. Do you know what I'm talking about? On the side
Oh yeah,
of
you don't go to
75?
that place.
Yeah, that looks shady as all can be. There's like zip lines over the water and like super sketchy like ramps and stuff.
Oh, that's actually I know what you're talking about. That place is awesome. That is that's a no boat water ski.
Okay, yeah, and that's what it seems like. Yeah, but they have like rides and all.
Oh, yeah.
I think someone told me Cedar Point bought it. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know, but I remember when I was there, you can get on a wakeboard and you hold on to your rope, and it's on a cable that just goes around the pond. It just pulls you around in circles. It's fantastic.
It looks so shady though.
Oh yeah, it's
so shady.
It's not probably they don't have all their teeth running that place. It's
okay. All right.
But yeah, I have to be nice about Outback reviews. They're one of my customers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, when it hits, it's the best. The best.
Blooming brands.
Okay. So this one's just outside of the box a little bit. Everyone loves the vacation and the palm trees and all that kind of stuff. But is there something randomly small about travel, whether it's a hotel or an Airbnb or gas stations or something like that? Is there anything that's like, this sounds silly, but I really enjoy this about traveling?
Well, so you know what? This is funny because this question was on here before, and I answered it with my answer of I find it comforting when I walk into a hotel in the Midwest and it smells like an indoor pool.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
I was talking about it for so damn long. Imagine that you never got to answer your response to that question. I don't think so. I think we left it on there because we only got halfway through talking.
Yeah.
About it.
All right.
What's
so
yours?
For me, the random thing I like on traveling, and I do this entirely legally. Please keep this in mind, everybody. It's well within the rules. I like whatever I can get free at like hotels. So if they have, I tell you guys, when I say this, feel my heart. If they have a little notepad and a pen on the end table, that's coming home with me. If there is a packaged toilet paper that is like available, it's coming home with me. If there is I always ask, especially at Marriott, hey, do you guys, I'm sorry, I forgot my toothbrush. Do you guys have travel toothpaste and toothbrush? Even though I packed mine, those are coming home with me. These are all baked in the price. I can take any of those, and it just makes me so happy. I feel like I won, and I just really enjoy exactly. Flag, he said, I'm a fan of travel side first. Thank you. I wholeheartedly agree about. Thank you. There's something about that is I really, really enjoy it. It just makes me happy. So sad. What's sad? That makes me happy. I like that. It's the small things in life. I love it.
Don't yuck someone else's yum, Mom.
Oh man.
Jeez.
I love it. I mean this. And it's not even like, it's not a need. It's not anything like that. It's just like I get a cheat code. It's like I won. I had the come up, And so for some reason I do enjoy that. But the smell of a pool, I love as well when you walk into a lobby, because I think chlorine associates with clean in our brain or something along that.
Yeah, probably. I'd say to add to that answer, I will say what I think I enjoy most, and I didn't think about this in time last week, is I think my best favorite thing ever is when I'm traveling alone and you get that random first class upgrade. Like it's a crappy flight, you're late, and it's like, I don't want to go. And then all of a sudden you get up there and they're like, oh, Mr. Phelps, would you like to relocate to our first class cabin? And you're like, I don't mind if I do. And I've had it happen a few times. I've had it happen a couple times without asking. I've had it happen a few times with. And then you have airlines that, of course, have their status thing that have automatic upgrades for people based on your status and your triple diamond emerald to executive elite platinum membership, because they have to add them on. But I tell you what, that's probably like the biggest win feeling I think that I've ever got traveling, is like you're looking forward to like dealing with your seat, and then all of a sudden you get upgraded and you're like, Oh my God, this is so much better.
So I've never experienced that, but I have had the hotel room upgrade, and that's a pretty cool feeling.
Just as cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Do you mind? I've had it a couple times, and they'll say, "Do you mind a higher floor?" Oh no, I don't.
Never say no to that question.
Yeah, come on with it. No, I'm good.
And I'll tell you
I've
what,
had
though,
that.
the most enjoyable, we're talking about things you enjoy about traveling. I don't know if anyone's tried it. If you've clicked the button and dealt with the cost and just done it, if you ever get a chance to fly JetBlue Mint, do it.
Okay.
Because JetBlue Mint, it flies from like San Francisco to Boston, New York out to like LAX. There's only certain paths where they have Mint planes, and then they have full Mint planes. But when I say it's a different, I mean, dude, you get in, there's like a little cabin area. Your seat lays down all the way flat. You have a door that closes. There's a desk next to you. You have a remote for your TV.
Everybody.
Everybody. They call their look it up. It's called a Dreamliner. So the JetBlue Dreamliner, that's not even that's like the crappy Mint, the ones down the lower left. There you go. There's the Dreamliners. That's what you want. So like the seats are all staggered. So like your feet, when you go down like this, you're going between two other pods in front of you. So like they stagger them back.
Yeah.
This weird arrangement. And you're kind of sitting sideways.
Right.
But dude, it breaks down into a full bed with a curtain with blankets and pillows. So you can curl up on your side, like full on like a bed.
That's incredible.
It's so worth it. I can't recommend it enough. Like Jill hates flying, and she got off that flight and was like, let's get back on.
That's cool. That's cool. Shout out to G Squared putting an order in right now. Love that. Love that. Ooh, Tim's son-in-law is a Delta pilot, get upgrades all the time. Yeah. That's a perk. About time he brought a perk to your life. Am I right, Tim? No, I don't know.
Tell you what, man. Tell you what. About time those kids start pulling their weight.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're talking too much. We got to get you guys back to work. Lunch break is over. We will be here next week talking about fun things, socializing, reacclimating Nick back into human existence and away from numbers and AI. We appreciate you guys always having our back. And shout out to Shelly. What up, Shelly? And other than that, thank you guys for hanging out. Before you leave, if you could just verify you hit the thumbs up because you enjoyed your time, that's awesome. If you did not enjoy it, we'll try better next week to see if we can earn that from you. And I'll kick it to my friend Nick for the final words.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you guys once again pulled me out of my cyber winter of artificial intelligence work that I've been doing. So thank you for that. And whenever you get a chance, make sure everyone says happy birthday to Shelly. Her birthday is Friday. And so you'll be seeing some fun stuff pop up on Instagram. We got the office all decorated today. There's balloons everywhere and streamers and stuff. So you guys will be able to check that out. But it's very festive over here at the Doctor's Nick's office today. So make sure to drop a happy birthday to Shelly. I'm sure she'll appreciate it on Instagram. And we will see you guys next week, hopefully with some exciting news to invigorate our senses going into springtime.
All right, all our J fans.